In a quaint village nestled along the coast of West Africa, where the sea kissed the golden sands and the palm trees swayed in the gentle breeze, there was a sense of both beauty and trepidation. The villagers went about their daily lives with an unspoken understanding, a shared knowledge that cast a shadow over their picturesque surroundings. For in the heart of this coastal paradise, there lived a legend, one that had been passed down through generations. The tale of the mermaid twins. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. Fishermen returned to the shore, their nets filled with the day's catch. Children played near the water's edge, their laughter carried by the wind. Yet, as twilight approached, a palpable tension hung in the air. Mothers called their children back, and the villagers hastened to their homes, closing doors and windows against the encroaching darkness. "Isi, come inside," called a woman from the threshold of her hut. Her voice was tinged with urgency. A young girl, her skin glistening with the remnants of seawater, looked up from her play. Her eyes, wide with curiosity, scanned the horizon before she reluctantly turned and ran towards her mother. As the door closed behind her, she asked, "Mama, why must we come inside so early?" Her mother knelt beside her, smoothing her damp hair. "Because, my child, when night falls, the mermaid twins awaken. They are not like the creatures of your fairy tales. They are both beautiful and dangerous, and we must respect their domain." Isi's eyes widened with a mix of fear and fascination. "Have you ever seen them, Mama?" Her mother shook her head. "No, and I pray that I never do. But the stories are enough to keep us cautious. Now let's get you ready for bed." As the village settled into the quiet of the night, the sea seemed to grow louder, its waves crashing more fiercely against the rocks. The wind carried whispers, as if the ocean itself was trying to convey secrets long forgotten by time. Years ago, the village elders would gather around the fire and recount the origins of the mermaid twins. According to the law, they were born of the union between a human and a sea goddess. Their mother, captivated by the charm of a fisherman, had granted him 2 daughters. However, the twins were not ordinary children. They possessed the beauty of their mother, but inherited the capricious nature of the sea. As they grew, the twins, named Nia and Nuru, became known for their ethereal voices that could calm the fiercest storms or summon them at will. Their presence brought both blessings and curses to the village. Fishermen who showed respect and offered gifts to the sea found their nets overflowing with fish, but those who dared to mock or harm the ocean faced the twins' wrath. Boats capsized, and entire families were claimed by the waves. The villagers lived in a delicate balance, honoring the twins with rituals and offerings. Every full moon they would gather on the beach, singing songs and leaving gifts to appease Nia and Nuru. These ceremonies were both a celebration and a plea for mercy. One such night, under the light of the full moon, the village gathered by the shore. The air was thick with anticipation and the scent of incense. Elders led the procession, their voices rising in melodic chants. Essie, now a young woman, stood among them, her heart pounding with a mixture of reverence and fear. She had grown up with the stories, but this was the first time she would participate in the ceremony. Her mother handed her a small offering, a beautifully woven basket filled with fruits and flowers. "Place this near the water and make your wish," she instructed. Essie nodded, her hands trembling as she approached the shore. She knelt and set the basket down, her lips moving in silent prayer. As she stood, the waves lapped at her feet, cool and inviting. For a moment she felt a strange pull, as if the sea itself was calling to her. Suddenly, a voice, soft and melodious, broke the silence. "Essie." She spun around, but there was no one there. The villagers continued their chants, oblivious to her. She glanced at the sea, and for an instant, she thought she saw 2 figures, their hair shimmering like silver in the moonlight. But as quickly as they appeared, they vanished beneath the waves. The ceremony ended, and the villagers returned to their homes, leaving the offerings behind. Essie lay in her bed, her mind racing with thoughts of the twins. The voice she had heard echoed in her ears, and she wondered if it had been a figment of her imagination or something more. Days turned into weeks, and life in the village resumed its usual rhythm. But Essie could not shake the feeling that something had changed. She began to spend more time by the sea, watching the horizon, hoping for another glimpse of the mysterious figures. Her mother grew concerned, reminding her of the dangers, but Essie's curiosity was insatiable. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Essie walked along the beach, lost in thought. The waves caressed her feet, and the breeze played with her hair. She felt a presence beside her and turned to see a young woman, her skin as smooth as polished stone, her eyes a deep, captivating blue. "Hello, Essie," the woman said, her voice as gentle as the sea breeze. Essie's heart raced. "Who are you?" The woman smiled, her teeth gleaming in the fading light. "I am Nia, and you have been seeking us." Essie's breath caught in her throat. "The mermaid twins. Why are you here?" Nia's expression grew serious. "The balance between our world and yours is shifting. We need your help." Essie's mind swirled with questions, but before she could speak, a second figure emerged from the waves. Nuru, identical to Nia, stood beside her sister, her gaze piercing yet kind. "We have watched you, Essie," Nuru said. "You have the heart and the spirit to understand our world. Will you help us restore the balance?" Essie felt a strange sense of destiny settling upon her. She nodded slowly, realizing that her life was about to change in ways she could never have imagined. The twins took her hands, their touch cool and comforting, and together they walked into the sea, disappearing beneath the waves. As the village slept, unaware of the events unfolding beneath the surface, Essie embarked on a journey that would bridge the gap between the human world and the mystical realm of the mermaid twins. And thus began the tale of a girl who dared to embrace the unknown and became a legend in her own right. The moon shone brightly over the tranquil village, casting silver light upon the restless sea. As Essie was pulled beneath the waves by the mermaid twins, her senses were overwhelmed by the vivid colors and vibrant life of the underwater world. Schools of fish darted around them, and coral reefs glowed with bioluminescent hues. Nia and Nuru led Essie through the depths, their movements graceful and fluid. They communicated without words, their thoughts flowing seamlessly into Essie's mind. She felt an inexplicable connection with them, as if their spirits were intertwined. The twins guided Essie to an underwater cave adorned with ancient carvings. This sacred place was the heart of their world, a place where the past, present, and future converged. Inside, an ethereal glow emanated from a large crystal at the center. Nia gestured toward the crystal. "This is the heart of the sea. It maintains the balance between our realm and yours. Recently, it has grown dim and its power wanes. We fear what will happen if it fades completely." Nuru added, "The balance must be restored, and for that, we need a human's touch, a pure heart that understands both worlds. That is why we brought you here." Essie felt a surge of determination. "What must I do?" The twins exchanged a knowing glance before Nia spoke again. "You must retrieve the Pearl of Harmony from the Cave of Echoes. It is guarded by the spirit of a vengeful sea serpent. Only with the pearl can we restore the heart of the sea." Essie nodded, her resolve unwavering. She followed the twins through winding underwater tunnels, the path growing darker and more treacherous. Eventually, they arrived at the entrance of the Cave of Echoes, a foreboding place with jagged rocks and eerie sounds reverberating through the water. Nuru placed a hand on Essie's shoulder. "We cannot accompany you inside. The spirit will only face a human. Be brave, Essie." Taking a deep breath, Essie swam into the cave. The darkness enveloped her, and the echoes grew louder, disorienting her senses. She pressed on, guided by an inner strength she hadn't known she possessed. As she ventured deeper, she felt the presence of the serpent, a malevolent force that sent shivers down her spine. The serpent emerged from the shadows, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. It hissed, its voice a chilling whisper, "Who dares to enter my domain?" Essie faced the creature, her voice steady despite her fear. "I seek the Pearl of Harmony to restore the balance between the worlds." The serpent's eyes narrowed. "Many have come before you, but none have succeeded. Why should I grant you the pearl?" Essie's heart raced, but she stood her ground. "Because I come not for power or glory, but for the sake of both our worlds. I seek harmony, not dominance." The serpent studied her for a long moment before it spoke again. "Very well, human. Prove your worthiness." The creature vanished into the shadows, and a series of challenges appeared before Essie, tests of courage, wisdom, and compassion. She faced each one with determination, drawing on the strength of her ancestors and the teachings of her village. She solved riddles, navigated treacherous paths, and showed kindness even in the face of danger. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, she reached the heart of the cave. The Pearl of Harmony lay on a pedestal, glowing with a soft, iridescent light. Essie approached it with reverence, her hand trembling as she picked it up. The serpent reappeared, its gaze softer now. "You have proven yourself, human. Take the pearl and restore the balance." Essie thanked the serpent and swam back to the entrance of the cave where Nia and Nuru awaited her. They smiled, their eyes filled with pride. "Well done, Essie," Nia said. "You have done what many could not." Essie handed the pearl to Nuru, who placed it in the center of the heart of the sea. The crystal pulsed with renewed energy, its light growing brighter and more vibrant. The water around them shimmered, and a sense of peace settled over the underwater realm. The twins led Essie back to the surface, where the first light of dawn was breaking over the horizon. As they emerged from the water, Essie felt a profound sense of accomplishment and belonging. Nia and Nuru spoke in unison. "You are now a guardian of the balance, Essie. Your courage and purity have saved both our worlds. Remember this always." Essie nodded, her heart full. She watched as the twins disappeared beneath the waves, their forms blending with the sea. The villagers, waking to a new day, noticed a change in the air, a renewed sense of harmony and hope. Essie stood on the shore, gazing out at the endless ocean. She knew her life would never be the same, but she welcomed the new path that lay before her, ready to embrace whatever the future held. As the sun climbed higher, casting golden rays over the village, Essie felt a sense of purpose thrumming within her. She had become a bridge between two realms, and her duty was clear. Her steps took her back to the heart of the village, where the elders were already gathered, their wise eyes glinting with curiosity. "Essie," Elder Amma called out, her voice both warm and commanding. "Tell us what has transpired." Essie recounted her underwater adventure with the mermaid twins, the trials within the Cave of Echoes, and the restoration of the heart of the sea. The villagers listened in rapt silence, their faces a tapestry of awe and respect. When she finished, Elder Amma nodded thoughtfully. "We must honor the sea and its guardians," she declared. "Essie, you have shown great courage. You will be our liaison with the mermaid twins." The villagers murmured in agreement, their fear of the sea creatures now tempered by gratitude and admiration for Essie's bravery. They began preparations for a grand ceremony to celebrate the renewed balance and to formally recognize Essie's new role. As the days passed, Essie's bond with the sea deepened. She spent hours by the water, feeling its rhythms and listening to its secrets. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, she felt a familiar presence beside her. Nia and Nuru emerged from the waves, their eyes reflecting the twilight. "Essie," Nia began, "the balance between our worlds is delicate. There are forces that seek to disrupt it. We need your help to protect it." Essie nodded, understanding the weight of their words. "What must be done?" Nuru pointed towards the distant horizon. "There is a dark force rising from the depths, one that feeds on fear and chaos. It seeks to corrupt the heart of the sea. We must stop it before it grows too powerful." Essie felt a chill run through her, but her resolve was unshaken. "How can I help?" "You must seek the counsel of the ancestor spirits," Nia explained. "They dwell in the sacred forest. Where the veil between worlds is thin, they will guide you." With this new mission, Essie prepared for the journey to the sacred forest. The villagers, now her steadfast supporters, provided her with provisions and blessings. As she ventured into the dense, ancient woods, the air grew cooler and a mystical energy surrounded her. Deeper into the forest, Essie found herself in a clearing bathed in ethereal light. The ancestor spirits appeared, their forms shimmering like mist. They spoke in unison, their voices resonating with ancient wisdom. "Essie, guardian of balance, you seek to protect the harmony between realms. To defeat the dark force, you must wield the light of unity. It is a power that can only be harnessed by one with a pure heart and an unbreakable will." Essie felt a surge of determination. "Where can I find this light of unity?" The spirits pointed to a grove in the heart of the forest. "It lies within the Grove of Whispers, guarded by the spirit of the forest. Prove your worth and the light shall be yours." Navigating the winding paths of the forest, Essie finally reached the Grove of Whispers. The air was thick with anticipation, and the whispers of the trees seemed to guide her steps. At the center of the grove stood a majestic tree, its branches stretching towards the heavens. Before it stood the spirit of the forest, a majestic figure with eyes that held the wisdom of ages. The spirit's voice was soft but commanding. "Why have you come, child of the sea and land?" Essie met the spirit's gaze with unwavering resolve. "I seek the light of unity to protect the balance between our worlds." The spirit regarded her for a moment before nodding. "To claim the light, you must pass the trial of the heart. It will test your courage, compassion, and integrity." Essie stood before the tree, her heart pounding as the trial began. Visions of her past, present, and potential future flashed before her eyes. She faced her fears, embraced her compassion, and upheld her integrity, proving her worthiness. When the visions faded, the spirit of the forest smiled. "You have passed, Essie. The light of unity is now yours." A radiant light enveloped Essie, filling her with a warmth and power she had never known. She returned to the village, her spirit alight with determination. The mermaid twins awaited her by the shore, their eyes reflecting the brilliance of the light she now carried. "Essie," Naya said softly, "with the light of unity, you can confront the dark force and protect the balance." Together they ventured into the depths, where the dark force lurked, a swirling mass of shadows and malice. Essie stepped forward, her heart blazing with the light of unity. She faced the darkness with unyielding courage, her spirit shining brighter with each step. In a clash of light and shadow, Essie's resolve proved unbreakable. The dark force shrieked and writhed, but it could not withstand the purity and strength of the light of unity. With a final burst of brilliance, the darkness was vanquished, and the ocean glowed with a renewed sense of peace and harmony. As Essie emerged from the sea, the villagers and the mermaid twins greeted her with cheers and songs of celebration. The balance between the worlds had been restored, and Essie's place as a guardian was cemented in the hearts of all. The village thrived, its people living in harmony with the sea, knowing that they were protected by the bravery and purity of a young woman who had become a legend in her own right. Essie's days became a blend of tranquility and duty as she continued her role as the guardian between the realms. The village, now a place of prosperity and peace, flourished under her watchful eye. One afternoon, while she was walking along the beach, she noticed an unusual pattern in the sand. It was as if the waves had carved a message. "Essie," a voice echoed softly. She turned to see Nia and Nuru, their expressions unusually solemn. "There is a disturbance in the spirit world," Nia began. "The forest spirits are restless, and their unease is seeping into our world." Essie listened intently, her brow furrowing with concern. "What must be done?" Nuru pointed towards the distant cliffs. "You must seek the Oracle of the Winds. She resides in a hidden cave high above the sea. Only she can reveal the cause of the spirit's unrest." Determined to restore harmony, Essie climbed the rugged cliffs, the wind whipping around her. She found the entrance to the cave concealed by ivy and shadows. Inside, the air was cool and filled with the scent of ancient herbs. At the heart of the cave sat the Oracle, an elderly woman with eyes like storm clouds. "Essie," the Oracle greeted her, "I have been expecting you." Essie bowed respectfully. "The forest spirits are troubled. How can I help them?" The Oracle's eyes glimmered with wisdom. "A shadow from the past stirs their disquiet. An ancient guardian, long forgotten, has awakened with a thirst for vengeance. You must find the guardian stone and return it to its rightful place. This will quell his rage." The Oracle handed Essie a small, intricate map. "This will guide you to the stone, but be cautious, for the path is fraught with dangers." Essie thanked the Oracle and followed the map's intricate pathways, leading her through dense forests and across roaring rivers. She encountered challenges at every turn, wild animals, treacherous terrain, and deceptive illusions, yet her resolve never wavered. Eventually, she reached a secluded glade where the guardian stone rested, its surface etched with ancient runes. As she approached, a powerful presence emerged from the shadows. The ancient guardian himself. His form was imposing, with eyes that blazed like fire. "Who dares to disturb my slumber?" he roared. Essie stood tall, her voice unwavering. "I come to restore balance and peace. The spirits are restless because of your anger. Let me return the stone to its place, and you shall find peace as well." The guardian's gaze softened, and he studied Essie intently. "Your heart is pure, and your intentions are noble. Very well, you may proceed." Essie carefully lifted the guardian stone, its weight surprising for its size. She followed the map to an ancient altar deep within the forest. Placing the stone upon the altar, she whispered a prayer for harmony. The ground trembled, and a warm light enveloped the glade. The guardian appeared once more, his form now serene and at peace. "Thank you, Essie," he said. "You have restored what was lost. The spirits will no longer be troubled." As the guardian faded into the ether, the forest seemed to sigh with relief. Essie returned to the village where Nia and Nuru awaited her. The villagers, sensing the change in the air, gathered to hear of her latest triumph. "The spirits are at peace," Essie announced. "We have restored balance once again." The village erupted in joyous celebration. their songs and dances a tribute to the harmony that Essie had worked so tirelessly to maintain. As night fell, the sky glittered with stars, and the sea whispered its eternal gratitude. Essie stood by the shore, feeling a profound connection to the world around her. Her path was clear, her purpose unwavering. She was not just a guardian, but a beacon of hope, a symbol of unity between land and sea, human and spirit. And with each passing day, she knew that her story was only just beginning. Essie's newfound role brought a sense of purpose, but also an awareness of the delicate balance she maintained. One morning, a strange mist rolled in from the sea, carrying an eerie silence that unsettled the villagers. As they gathered on the beach, Essie felt the air grow heavy with unspoken fears. "Essie," Elder Amma said, her voice trembling, "the sea is restless again. Something is amiss." Nia and Nuru emerged from the waves, their faces grave. "A rift has opened in the ocean floor," Nia explained. "It threatens to unleash ancient evils that were once sealed away. We need your help to close it." Essie nodded, determination lighting her eyes. "Tell me what I must do." "The rift can only be sealed with the shell of eternity," Nuru said. "It lies in the abyss of shadows, a place where few dare to venture." With the twins as her guides, Essie dove into the depths, the water growing colder and darker as they descended. They swam for hours, navigating through labyrinthine trenches and avoiding treacherous currents. Finally, they reached the abyss of shadows, a realm of perpetual twilight where the light barely penetrated the gloom. At the center of the abyss, the rift pulsed with a malevolent energy. It was a tear in the fabric of the ocean, and from it emanated a foreboding presence. The shell of eternity, a luminous object of unmatched beauty, rested on a pedestal guarded by spectral creatures. "Essie," Nia whispered, "you must retrieve the shell while we hold off the guardians." As the twins engaged the spectral creatures in a fierce battle, Essie approached the pedestal. The guardians, sensing her presence, turned their attention towards her, their forms shifting and twisting menacingly. Essie moved with swift precision, her every step a calculated dance between danger and opportunity. With a final, desperate leap, she grasped the shell of eternity. Its surface was cool and smooth, imbued with an ancient power. As she lifted it, the guardians let out a collective wail and dissipated into the darkness. Essie hurried back to the rift, the shell glowing brighter with each step. "Place it at the center," Nuru instructed, her voice strained from the battle. Essie positioned the shell above the rift. A powerful surge of energy coursed through her, and the shell's light expanded, engulfing the darkness. The rift began to close, the malevolent energy receding as if being swallowed by the ocean itself. When the rift was finally sealed, a calm settled over the abyss. The water warmed, and the perpetual twilight gave way to a soft, soothing glow. Essie, Nia, and Nuru surfaced, the village awaiting their return with bated breath. "The rift is sealed," Essie announced, her voice carrying a note of triumph. "The ancient evils are contained once more." The villagers cheered, their relief palpable. Elder Amma approached Essie, her eyes shining with pride. "You have saved us again, Essie. Your bravery and wisdom are unmatched." That evening, the village celebrated with a grand feast by the shore. The sounds of laughter and music filled the air, a stark contrast to the morning's fear. Essie sat among her people, the warmth of their gratitude wrapping around her like a comforting blanket. Nia and Nuru appeared beside her, their expressions serene. "The balance is restored thanks to you," Nia said softly. Essie smiled, feeling the weight of her responsibilities lighten. She knew that as long as she remained vigilant and true to her heart, she could face any challenge that arose. The bond between the village, the sea, and the spirits was stronger than ever, a testament to the enduring power of unity and courage. Essie awoke to a new day, the village alive with the sounds of morning. Birds sang, children played, and the scent of fresh bread wafted through the air. Yet, an undercurrent of unease rippled through the peaceful scene. A distant rumble, barely perceptible, echoed from the horizon. Elder Amma approached Essie, her face etched with concern. "There are rumors of a creature stirring in the mountains. It has caused landslides and frightened away the wildlife." Essie's eyes narrowed with determination. "I will investigate and ensure our village remains safe." As she prepared to leave, Nia and Nuru appeared, their expressions mirroring the elder's worry. "This creature is known as the Earthshaker," Nia explained. "It was once a protector, but has become corrupted by an ancient curse." Nuru added, "You must find the Stone of Tranquility. It is the only thing that can calm the Earthshaker and restore its true nature." Essie set off towards the mountains, the path steep and treacherous. She climbed with unwavering resolve, the landscape growing more rugged with each step. Along the way she encountered evidence of the Earthshaker's wrath. Trees uprooted, boulders shattered, and the ground torn asunder. At the mountain's peak, a cavern loomed, its entrance dark and foreboding. Essie ventured inside, her footsteps echoing against the stone walls. Deeper within, she found the Earthshaker, a massive creature with scales of granite and eyes that glowed with an inner fire. It roared, the sound reverberating through the cavern. "I seek the Stone of Tranquility," Essie called out, her voice strong and clear. "I wish to help you." The Earthshaker paused, its eyes narrowing. "Many have sought to harm me. Why should I trust you?" Essie stepped forward, her heart steady. "I am here to restore balance, not to fight. The village and the land suffer because of this curse. Let me help you break it." The creature studied her, its fiery gaze softening. "Very well. The stone lies within this cavern, but it is guarded by traps and illusions. Only one with a pure heart can retrieve it." Navigating the labyrinth of traps, Essie relied on her instincts and the guidance of the mermaid twins, who communicated with her through the water in the cave's depths. She faced illusions that played on her fears, but her resolve never wavered. Finally, she found the Stone of Tranquility, its surface glowing with a soothing light. As she returned to the Earthshaker, the cavern seemed to hum with anticipation. Essie held the stone aloft. "I bring the Stone of Tranquility. Let it free you from your torment." The creature lowered its head, allowing Essie to place the stone upon it. A radiant light enveloped the Earthshaker, and the air vibrated with a deep, harmonious tone. The scales of granite softened, and the creature's eyes lost their fiery glow, becoming gentle and wise. "Thank you," the Earthshaker rumbled, its voice now calm and serene. "The curse is lifted. I will once again be a protector of this land." Essie bowed respectfully. "May your watch be ever vigilant and your heart ever pure." As she descended the mountain, the landscape transformed. The damage wrought by the Earthshaker's rage healed before her eyes. Trees righted themselves, boulders rolled back into place, and the ground mended its wounds. By the time she returned to the village, the morning unease had lifted, replaced by an air of renewal. Elder Amma greeted her with a warm smile. "You have done it again, Essie. Our village is safe and the land is at peace." Nia and Nuru appeared at the water's edge, their eyes filled with pride. "The balance grows stronger with each act of courage and kindness," Nia said. Essie nodded, feeling the weight of her responsibilities settle comfortably on her shoulders. The bond between the village, the land, and the sea had never been more harmonious. With every challenge overcome, Essie knew that unity and balance would continue to guide their path forward. As dawn broke over the village, a peculiar stillness settled over the land. Essie awoke with a sense of foreboding, an uneasy feeling that something was amiss. She dressed quickly and stepped outside, where villagers were already gathering, their faces painted with worry. "Essie," Elder Amma called, her voice tense, "the river has run dry overnight. Without water, our crops will fail and our people will suffer." Essie's heart quickened. The river was the lifeblood of their village, and its sudden disappearance signaled a grave problem. She turned to Naya and Nuru, who appeared with expressions of equal concern. "The river spirit is in distress," Naya said softly. "Something has disrupted the natural flow, and we must find the cause." Nuru added, "We fear it may be the work of the stone thieves, who seek to drain the river's power for their own gain. You must confront them and restore the river's flow." Essie nodded resolutely. She set out along the dry riverbed, her steps determined. The path led her through dense forests and rocky terrain, each step echoing the urgency of her mission. The landscape grew increasingly desolate, a stark contrast to the village's verdant surroundings. At the river's source, she found the stone thieves. They were a group of cunning figures, their eyes glinting with greed as they extracted shimmering stones from the riverbed, causing the water to vanish. Essie stepped forward, her voice firm. "Stop this at once. You are endangering lives and disrupting the balance." The leader of the thieves, a tall man with a menacing grin, sneered at her. "Why should we listen to you? These stones hold great power, and we intend to use them." Essie met his gaze unflinchingly. "These stones belong to the river. By taking them, you harm not only the river spirit, but the entire village. Return them, and you will be spared the river's wrath." The leader laughed, but his amusement was cut short as the ground beneath them began to tremble. The river spirit emerged, a towering figure of water and earth, its eyes glowing with anger. You have angered the spirit, Essie warned. Return the stones now, or face the consequences. The thieves, now visibly frightened, hesitated. The ground continued to shake, and the riverbed cracked, releasing steam and hot water. The leader, realizing the gravity of their actions, signaled his men to return the stones. One by one, they placed the shimmering rocks back into the riverbed. As the last stone was returned, the river spirit's anger subsided, and the water began to flow once more. The dry bed filled with life-giving water, and the river's gentle song returned to the land. The thieves, humbled and fearful, fled into the forest, leaving Isi and the spirit in peace. The river spirit turned to Isi, its voice a soothing rumble. You have saved the river and restored balance. Your heart is true and your spirit is strong. Thank you, guardian. Isi bowed deeply. It is my duty to protect and serve. May the river flow freely and nourish our land. As she made her way back to the village, the river's revitalized flow brought life back to the parched earth. The villagers, seeing the return of their precious water, erupted in joyous celebration. Elder Amma embraced Isi, her eyes shining with gratitude. You have done it again, Isi. Our village thrives because of your bravery and wisdom. Naya and Nuru appeared, their faces glowing with pride. The balance is safe once more thanks to you. Essie felt a deep sense of fulfillment as she stood by the river, the lifeblood of her people. The harmony between the village, the spirits, and the land had been preserved, and Essie knew that as long as she remained vigilant, this balance would endure. The river flowed on, a symbol of the unity and strength that bound them all together. The days grew longer, and the village flourished under the watchful eye of Essie, yet an uneasy calm lingered. Essie felt it in the whispers of the wind and the restless sea. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting an amber glow over the village, Nia and Nuru emerged from the water, their expressions grave. Isi, Nia began, a great storm is brewing, unlike any we have seen before. It is born of ancient magic, a force awakened from the depths. Nuru continued, this storm threatens to consume both our worlds. It is the final test of your guardianship. Isi's resolve hardened. What must be done? Nia handed her a conch shell, intricately carved with ancient symbols. This is the shell of resonance. It can calm the storm, but only if it is placed at the heart of the tempest. You must journey to the eye of the storm and use the shell to restore peace. The storm had already begun to gather on the horizon, dark clouds swirling and lightning cracking the sky. The villagers, sensing the impending danger, gathered on the beach, their faces a mix of fear and trust in Essie. You have always protected us, Elder Amma said, placing a reassuring hand on Essie's shoulder. We believe in you. With the shell of resonance in hand, Essie waded into the turbulent waters, Nia and Nuru by her side. The sea roared around them, but Essie's heart remained steady. They swam into the heart of the storm, where the waves towered like mountains and the wind howled with fury. At the center of the tempest, the eye of the storm was a place of eerie calm. Isi, Nia, and Nuru reached the eye, the conch shell glowing faintly in her hands. She lifted it high, her voice clear and strong over the roar of the storm. By the power of the shell of resonance, I call upon the ancient magic to restore balance and peace. The shell resonated with a deep, harmonious tone that spread through the storm, its sound a beacon of calm. The dark clouds began to part, and the raging wind softened. The sea, once a cauldron of chaos, started to settle, its surface smoothing out like glass. The storm's power waned, and a serene silence fell over the ocean. Essie, Nia, and Nuru watched as the clouds dissipated, revealing a sky full of stars. The threat had passed, and the balance was restored once more. As they swam back to the villagers greeted them with joyous cries. The storm's fury had given way to a peaceful night, and the air was filled with relief and gratitude. Essie, Elder Amma said, her voice filled with emotion, you have done what no one else could. You have safeguarded our home and ensured our future. Nia and Nuru stood beside Essie, their expressions proud and serene. The balance between our worlds is stronger than ever, Nia said. You have proven yourself a true guardian. Essie smiled, feeling the weight of her journey lift. She knew that her bond with the spirits, the sea, and her village was unbreakable. The trials she had faced had only strengthened her resolve and deepened her understanding of the delicate harmony that bound their worlds together. As the village celebrated, Essie stood at the water's edge, the conch shell still in her hand. The waves lapped gently at her feet, a soothing reminder of the balance she had fought so hard to maintain. She looked out over the ocean, knowing that while challenges would always arise, the strength and unity of her people would prevail. The night wore on, filled with laughter, song, and the light of 1,000 stars. Isi's heart swelled with pride and contentment. She was not just a guardian, but a part of a living, breathing tapestry that wove together land, sea, and spirit. And so, under the watchful eyes of the spirits and the shimmering stars, the village thrived in harmony, its future secure in the hands of a young woman who had embraced her destiny and forged a legacy of courage, wisdom, and unity.